Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Barry the boater, Mike the mariner, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. And welcome you aboard for another virtual cruise. So, Barry, he's trying to make it more than a virtual cruise. He's actually taking his boat out, at least in the driveway. Is that what you did this week, Barry, or what?
Yeah, I took it out in the drive. I wanted to take it out, but some family matters came up, and it was too bad because the weather's been really nice down here, flat seas.
Yeah.
But I did take it out on the driveway. I put the engine in the test tank. I started it up. I bled the oil injection system. So what I did is I mixed up a small 1-gallon container of oil fuel mix because it's a 2-stroke engine, and you cannot run it without oil. Whether you mix it with the fuel or you have it injected, you have to have one or the other or both. So I ran it off of there and just watched the oil as it pumped into the brand new lines. And as soon as I saw lots of smoke coming out, I knew it was all bled. And she's ready to go. I just, this week didn't turn out. I'm hoping that this coming week, there's a few days where it looks like it's been less than 2 foot. They've been 1-footers out there. They've been smooth bays. It has been such a nice summer for boating.
No doubt. Now, you were trying to jinx me as I was going out to the Turks and Caicos.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you were. He was sending me texts.
warned you.
Oh, did you see these storms? See these every day? I'm getting this text the weather's going to be crap.
Wait. One of our scuba squad crew was stuck in Miami because the flights were delayed because of this storm.
Yeah.
Debbie that came through.
Uh-huh.
So she came through and she did her thing.
Right.
So I didn't jinx it, and you were lucky. This other one, Ernesto, is absolutely beating up Bermuda. But from what I understand, the way they build houses there, they just look at that storm and laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a 2 or something? It wasn't that strong?
It was I think a 1, maybe a strong 1 getting into 2. But even still, from what I've been told, the houses there are built really well.
Yeah. Well, they are throughout the Caribbean. They have to. I mean, not that, we want any storms to hit any of the islands.
No.
But, yeah, you are right. We did kind of thread the needle a little bit on my trip to the Turks and Caicos, and we had exceptional weather. It was phenomenal. The downside to going to the Turks and Caicos at this time of year, the only downside to it is obviously hurricanes. But the odds are with you that you're not going to get there and experience a hurricane. That's usually, the odds are much more likely that you're going to have good weather. The downside is it's summertime. The winds have died down. It can be seriously hot.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been out there at this time of year in the Caribbean, like the Turks and Caicos before, and it'd be like 90 plus a day, the sun beating down. You're burning your feet on the top deck of the boat. It ends up that we were out there and we had a constant, I'd say 15 mile per hour breeze going every day. And
really?
It wasn't,
so how were the seas?
Well, it wasn't enough to churn up the seas too much. It wasn't bad at all. It really doesn't get bad until you get up into the, high teens, like 18, 19, 20. Now you're going to start to have some issues with the wind coming in and creating more, wind chop or stirring up the sediment. We're going there to scuba dive, so you don't want too much wind because you want the water to be calm and you don't want it blowing up the viz and that kind of thing. And we did have a little bit of issues every once in a while with the viz and the stuff getting blown up and the wind was churning up things. But for the most part, kept things really comfortable. Best week of weather I've had in a long time, and it was beautiful every day. How
great,
about that?
and Mike, you could tell when the weather is good and when the seas are calm because Greg will not chum the water.
This is true.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I've got my sea legs long time ago, and I can just look out at the seas and know if I'm going to be okay or not now. I
Yeah.
know
Now,
just by looking at the white caps. Okay, that's too much white cap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow.
Yeah.
But I know.
Do you get seasick a lot?
I used to. I don't now
Yeah.
because I know what that threshold is, and if I see it's gonna be like that, I'm like, I'm out of here.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Or-
I've been
Yeah.
very, very lucky. I don't get seasick. It doesn't matter, or motion sickness on a plane or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I'm glad you had really good weather for your trip. I was not so lucky for our Keys trip this year. We had windy conditions. The water was murky. We couldn't find any lobster because we couldn't see past
Right.
past our mask. Really, it was just one of those weird years where we had this strong, constant wind out of the southwest, and then sprinkle in some, thunderstorms moving through. Early in the morning too is weird. 9
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning, there's a storm coming across the reef, and we were all soaked from the boat taking spray and all
Really?
that. So
I
yeah.
think we had one shower that blew through, and actually it was in the morning too. Now that I think about it, and it blew
Mhm.
through in about an hour or so, washed the boat down, cooled things
Oh,
down.
that's the
just a
best boat
tad.
wash in the world is
Yeah.
a free rain shower.
And
Yeah.
and they were good to go. And it was sunny and a few clouds in the sky, and had plenty of sunshine. But like I said, the ocean breeze kept the heat down
Mhm.
too. Because if you get out there and the breeze stops, I mean it's like death.
What was
Oh,
the
yeah.
water
on
temp
top
like?
deck. What's that?
Very hot. Oh, you mean in the
Yeah, for
Turks?
him. Yeah, what
Yeah.
was the water temp like out there?
86. It was warm. It was bathtub
Oh.
diving.
Yeah, but that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
No,
tell you
but-
what, 86 is a little too warm for me, Barry. I gotta
Really?
say, I'm just diving in board shorts and rash guard and my fins and gear and stuff. And 86 is like you're swimming like, golly, I feel like I'm wearing a wetsuit or something. This is
Yeah.
almost
I
It
too
was
get,
like
much.
Bathtub.
get
Yeah, it
chilled.
was.
Yeah.
I get chilled easily, and 86 means that I won't feel that.
Well, that's
if
true.
you're in there for 45 minutes, you don't get that chill in there.
I
so.
mean, that is very, very much the case. I mean, it's but you lose a little bit of that refreshing feel to me. I think my
I don't
sweet spot's like 84, 85, just
All
a,
right.
1 or 2 degrees cooler, and you jump in, it's like woo, that
Okay.
woo feeling.
Do
I
that
wish
one
we
more
could
time.
record that. Yeah,
Woo.
here we go. Save that one, Mike. We'll play that.
Yeah, it's kind of disturbing. But
so yeah, the boat is ready to go.
Yeah.
I just got to find another. I want to find another calm day because I want to take her out on the ocean
mhm.
so I could really open it up. The Intracoastal just has too many
Other
slow
boats.
areas.
obstacles.
No. It's just slow. I go on the weekdays now instead of the weekends, so
Yeah.
it's nice and quiet.
Okay.
But there's a lot of areas where you have to go slow,
Right.
and it's good for running the engine. But I want to be able to run it at 5,200 RPM.
Well, when you get it out there, are you going to stay on it, or are you going to jump in that bathtub water temp? That we
No,
got
I,
right now?
I stay on the boat and I go. Last time I showed you the pictures.
Well, I
the,
just told you how warm it is, and you're like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
I like the sound of that."
Yeah, no, I do. And what I'll do is end up going down south, maybe to Boca Chica Island,
Okay.
and then head back up to Hollover and throw the anchor out and go swimming for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the plan if I can get a day to do it.
Hmm. Well, yeah, the water is quite warm. I mean, that's good for swimming if you like it. Like I said, it's just almost a little bit too warm at the moment, but it's going to cool off pretty quick. I mean, we got maybe another month, and it'll get.
I don't know. I'm hoping it stays warm until October
Well,
Why?
because
why?
it'll be perfect for
Why?
lobster hunting.
Well, it's not going
Well-
to get that warm, regardless.
Yeah.
Barry. I mean, it'll be plenty warm to go without a wetsuit till probably December. Wouldn't you
Well, it used to be when you went diving in December, it was 69, 70 degrees, and that's rather chilly.
Well, maybe, but I'm just saying it
Yeah.
stays warm all through September. I mean, but
Well,
like I said, it just needs to ease off the temp just a little bit. Okay, we're talking too much diving. We're going to talk about boating. What's going on the top side? That's what we'll do next on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Hi, guys. Y'all look great. It's so good to see y'all.
Likewise.
Welcome to Hilton Head Island. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so amazing. And so I figured what better way to see the island than on a boat.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Barry the boater, Mike the mariner, rounding out the crew. All right, so the summer has, we're smack dab in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And we got very hot water, which is good for hurricanes, too, is you got to dodge those. But I think the thing you got to keep in mind for a boater is that right now, especially in the Caribbean and Florida, the weather can be amazing, and then it can turn on you in a dime, and it can be super nasty. I mean, I kind of downplayed the one storm we had in the Turks and Caicos last week, Mike, in that, it came through, blew through in about an hour or two, maybe tops. But the lightning was nuts. It was insanity.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like, Poseidon was going to swallow us up there for an hour or two. But then it cleared up, and it was a beautiful day. So,
That's
you got to watch it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what we deal with here in Central Florida during the summer, the afternoon thunderstorms.
Right.
Some of the strongest weather I've ever been in has been, inshore, those thunderstorms. I remember 2 years ago, we had a family outing on Silhouette. We went downriver, came back, and as we were approaching Sanford, a storm developed literally right over the Lake Monroe, and it was severe. When I was making one of the turns and we got the outblast from the storm, our entire boat settled down and leaned over from that wind burst, and that was probably so you're talking maybe a 65 mile an hour microburst right there in the middle of the lake, and that was just an afternoon thunderstorm, so you can get some pretty serious conditions.
You have to always be prepared, or if you see something on the horizon, hunker down.
Well,
or avoid it if you can.
And nowadays we have the technology, with our cell phones, we could look at local radar live. Remember, at one time you couldn't do that. Either you had a radar on the boat or you didn't. Or, you know, you could look on the horizon, but you can't tell where those storms are going. So you got to keep a lookout. Now you have radar on your phone. You could see which direction it's going in. You could, you know, time it out as far as when do I need to pull anchor or when do I need to try to outrun this thing. And
Right.
I've always heard stories that you can outrun it. It depends on, you know, your thinking ahead of time.
Well, like I said, hunker down. When it came to us, it was in the morning. It was daylight. They saw it coming. It was pretty intense for a while, but you know they're used to dealing with those things, so they just hunkered the boat down, and we just stayed in the galley there for an hour. Had our breakfast, and it was just
How big was this boat that you were on?
125 footer.
Oh, that's a nice size yacht.
Oh yeah, I was living large. It's a
Wow,
nice
what kind of
vessel.
yacht was it?
Well, it's a dive liveaboard, so it can accommodate about 18, 20 people, guests, and about another, I don't know, 7, 8 crew.
Are these purposely built just for diving, or did they take someone's yacht and repurpose it?
Yes,
you know,
the
gut it and
latter.
rebuild it. The latter. Okay.
Yeah. But this one is actually one of the biggest liveaboards, charter liveaboards in the Caribbean. Most of them are, you know, around the 100-footer range. This is a little bigger. It's been around for years and years, but it looks really nice because it looks more like a yacht than, you know, a lot of other liveaboard boats will look more like trawler or like oil platform boats, you know, the crew boats that they turned into, you know, a dive vessel. They're a little bit more, I don't know.
Industrial?
Yeah. And this one definitely looks more like a yacht. And you know, they keep it up real nice, and it's a great dive platform for the week. But yeah, you kind of feel like a big deal. We were anchored right off of West Caicos, which is like one of the 3 sets of islands that you dive when you go out there on this particular trip. And one of the resorts is super expensive that we were anchored right offshore from. I mean, I've been there before, and you know, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith were there before the slap.
Right.
And they I mean, they get big celebs because it costs a fortune to stay, you know, at this resort, and we can sit there with binoculars. Hey, look, there's someone, you know.
There you go,
Yeah.
creeping us out again.
Yeah,
Okay.
but no, it's great diving. It's a great location, and you know, the water, like I said, it was coming in at 86, which is pretty warm for you know, diving or swimming. I mean, like I said, it was almost too warm, I thought, and you know that probably plays into the fact that you get more of those unpredictable storms, and obviously it feeds hurricanes. You know, the warmer the water is, they say, the more the chance of it building more energy when the storms come through the Caribbean. And that's why, you know, the summer can be a little dicey, and even probably comes into play in a lot of the lakes in Central Florida and stuff too. So you just got to be aware of those storms, or, you know, and try to dodge them. Right.
Yeah. No, you just pay attention to the weather before you go out.
Yeah.
If it's really bad, you know, you taught us as well, not you, but my instructor taught me that if you plan something and it doesn't look like it's going to work out, there's nothing wrong with saying we're not going to do it today.
Right.
And the same thing should apply to boating. I mean, you know, people get disappointed and all that stuff, but it's not worth taking the chance of losing a life or something like that if the weather gets dicey. And right now the seas are a little rough out there, 2 to 3 footers, and because of that storm out near Bermuda, it's causing a lot of churning along the coastline all the way up the coast. So
Well,
you know.
it's, you know, like I said, the ocean temps are kind of high right now, and that's feeding, you know, giving these storms energy. I mean, we also got a story about the dead zone in the Gulf. Is at a record level right now? Is that the case?
Yeah.
Barry?
Yeah, it is a record level, but it's not, I mean, the record level. It's one of the record levels that they've been keeping track of for the last 38 years. It's the 12th largest zone that they've had in a long time. And I didn't really know much about it. You know more about it.
Well, yeah, the dead zone, it's the outfall from the Mississippi into the Gulf. And because all the nutrients that it picks up along the way in the Mississippi, like fertilizer runoff, and all that kind of stuff, it feeds into the Gulf, and it has a tendency to feed the algae, which sucks all the oxygen out of the water column, and then fish can't live and nothing else can live. So it creates this kind of dead zone that doesn't have enough oxygen to support any real life. And it has been, it varies year to year. So it's 12th high. I thought it was the highest, but it's not. It's just
but
up there.
But
it's a big
they say
swath
it's as big as the size of New Jersey.
Yeah, which isn't
which
good.
I would assume is big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's not good for fishing. It's not good for anything.
No, it's not good for the industry. It's not good for people that go out there and trawl and shrimp and all that other stuff. I assume it all comes out of there.
Yeah. Well, they got to, get outside the zone, outside the dead zone. And now, what is feeding that? Warmer water temps, probably a big factor because it's what explodes the algae, or the algae, depending on where you're from. And then,
and we've had that issue in the Gulf before. You've had that issue right along the Gulf Coast of Florida. We've had red tides and stuff like that. And we've had algae on and you would see that too, Mike, on the inside on those freshwater canals where they get that green, blue algae.
Yes.
Well, we did. The last hurricane when we had the flooding, that became an issue on the St. John's.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that and more next on The World of Boating. Stay close.
Listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating Radio Show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Pirate!
What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor at the light in the morning?
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. We got a full crew and making the best of it regardless, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what's coming at the end of October?
What?
Besides Halloween.
Oh, besides Halloween.
Besides Halloween.
Okay.
Pick me.
Okay,
pick me.
okay,
Yeah.
Mike, what do you say?
Flibs.
Aha. The Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
October 30th
excited.
through November 3rd.
Yeah. What are you going to dress up as, Barry?
I'm going to dress up as you because that's scary.
Oof.
I'm going to dress up as a channel marker.
I like that.
That would be funny.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be good. Hey, I'll even make a flashing red or green light for you could wear on your head.
I'll put that right on my head. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
absolutely. They make them in LED now, right? So, or solar
Yeah.
powered.
Yeah.
Rechargeable.
Well, LED, you don't need that. LEDs draw so little power. Put a couple of D-cell batteries on there. It'll run for days.
Yeah, light them up like
Well,
a Christmas tree. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
So
but
you
then
can do
we
any-
won't have to worry about recharging my
Well,
brain.
that will definitely throw everybody off though, because when they're passing you in the aisles of the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, like, oh, wrong side.
Red tie.
Red right return.
Yeah, but are we returning or are we leaving? What are we doing?
I like it.
So-
All right. Well, we got a great idea that we can see about executing.
Yeah,
for
we
the
could
boat
do
show.
that.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go. If Mike goes,
I'm going.
each of us could have a hard hat. One could be green, one could be red.
Yeah, we could do that. It was
Yeah.
like the band Devo or something,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
could do
we
that.
need some World of Boating shirts. so that
Yeah.
they will know who's taking care of all.
I
of
don't want to
this.
be associated with any of this type of
thanks.
activity. So,
Hey, I'm going to be in shopping mode, so I'm looking forward to Flibs this year.
yeah, what are you
What are
buying?
you buying? James?
I'm going to go down and help my dad spend his money because it's time for him to replace his boat.
Aha.
He's going to downsize, but he's got a 42-foot Invincible, and it's just time for him to get into something maybe in the 30-ish range. A bay boat, something easier to operate. So,
What does he want? Something that he can tow or something, or just he just needs something
this
smaller?
would be
period?
well, this would be towable. The
Yeah.
boat he has now is not.
Right.
You have to have a special permit to pull his boat. But no, he'll get something that's just smaller, easier to handle, and then I'll probably start looking for something because we have a big family. So that 42-foot boat gets full of people when we go down and do our trips in the Keys.
So he wants you to have the big boat, and he's going to downsize and put off all the
I'm
family
keeping
on
Silhouette.
you. Yeah.
Well, I'm keeping Silhouette, but Silhouette isn't really a boat that we can use for fishing and diving and all that. It's a motor yacht. So I'll probably get kind of an inshore flats, kind of an oriented boat like a Carolina skiff or a whaler or something like that. He'll probably get about a 30-foot bay boat, center console-ish kind of a configuration.
Okay.
So
is this boat center console now, or does it have?
It is.
So it doesn't have any kind of cabin or anything.
It has a head, but no cabin.
And
Yeah.
that head's what in the center console. You have to kind of
It is.
dig down in.
Yes. Yes.
There. He may lose.
It's got
that
plenty of
on
room.
a 30-footer.
A lot of the 30-footers now have heads as well. So, in fact, most of them do.
Okay.
And bay boats and flats boats. A friend of mine has I can't remember if it's a Four Winds. I can't remember the brand. It's a dual console, and he's got a head in it, and that's a 30-footer.
Right.
Well,
so the idea is to downsize from his 42 and then upsize with the fact that you'll have like a whaler to kind of offset the fact that he's going smaller, and then you'll have both boats down there when you guys travel.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
the idea. That's the working idea we have going on right now. So
Any particular brands that you think are going to win out over others, or you're going to just keep an open mind for everything that you are looking to see there at Flibs?
It's open now, but I like the Contenders. I like all of those really well made. There are a lot of really well made center consoles and bay boats these days. So who knows what we'll find?
What about a walk around?
A walk around? Isn't that a center console? What do you mean?
No. It's a walk around is like a fishing boat, but it still has a little cabin. I have cabin on my mind because I've been out there in enough storms that I get tired of
cabin on his mind.
Thanks.
Is that
because of weather and it's just nice to have a hidey hole in there.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, so the boat that he had before, and he keeps his boats for a long time. So, Not So Fast, which is the name of his boat, is 10 years old this year. And
I like that name.
It's a funny name because the boat goes 70 miles an hour. But, but the boat he had before was a 3470 Pursuit, which isn't a walk around, but it's an express. Configured similar to a walk around, had a nice cabin, air conditioning, bed, and he never once slept on that boat. I think I slept on that boat maybe 5, 6, 7 times.
I'm trying to help you here.
Yeah, yeah. So when he bought the 42 Invincible, he just said, "Well, I'm just going to delete the cabin option because I never sleep on it." And I said, "Wait a minute, I do."
Yeah.
But he bought it anyway.
But he bought it.
Yeah, he bought
Do you think
it like
he'll
that.
get
anyway.
used to being in a smaller boat? Because usually once you go bigger, you don't want to go back the other way.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I mean, it'll be different. It'll be easier. He'll have more options because it will be trailerable. So,
Right.
He'll be able to, take it over to the West Coast and maybe we'll, go scalloping, which we haven't done in, many, many years.
Yeah,
So
just give you more options. Right.
Yeah.
And you think you're just going to
now,
trade it in though with a manufacturer that you like, or will he just sell the boat outright on his own, or do you?
No, I
haven't
think
got
we're
that far?
I think we're going to list it.
Yeah.
and
Well,
just
yeah,
sell it.
because you're a broker kind of guy anyway. You can do that.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
And then you'll just go deal with whichever boat you like at Flibbs and say, okay, I got cash. Let's deal.
Yeah. Well, there's kind of a following for boats like his. It's and his is pretty special. So it has some pretty cool options, all custom options, nice tower, the net. I don't think he's going to have a problem selling the boat.
Yeah.
The boat's it looks brand new. If you looked at it today, you'd never know it was 10 years old.
Right. What about budget?
Yeah.
How for a 30-footer, do you even have like a ballpark you think he's willing to go for? It just depend on what he likes when he gets down there.
Just
and
what he
starts
likes.
circling
Yeah, we
around?
haven't figured out that yet, but we'll look at some certain options. Power poles. I'm guessing we'll look at probably a single engine outboard instead of twins, and of course all the Garmin electronics and radar and all the stuff that we like.
Why
So,
single instead of twins? Less mechanics, less problems, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, a 30-foot
Mechanical
boat.
stuff.
Do you really need twins? Probably
Two
not.
small,
And-
but two smaller twins, one can get you back if one fails. That's
Yeah.
the only difference. you
More
know?
engines, more problems.
So in 10 years, he's got 3 engines on his boat now.
Uh-huh.
Three Yamaha 350s, and in 10 years, he's come back on 2 engines one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because
So if you
Yamaha's
think
a
about
good
that.
engine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
and they keep
and-
getting
and-
better usually, right?
And if you run the boat a lot and you maintain it properly, your instance of failure goes way down. So
Yeah. Well, less moving parts, less problems. He's
Yeah, and he's-
downsizing because he wants something easier to manage. One
Yeah.
engine's easier to manage than 2, Barry. I mean, I think
Well,
it
it
goes
is,
in
but
line with what
I
he's
know
thinking.
I watch people with 2 engines. They could turn those boats on a dime.
Well, maybe so, but we'll talk about that. And is it a buyer's market right now? We'll discuss that next. I think it might be on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network. You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
So, Pat, you always been a seaman? By that, I mean a sailor, not, sperm.
No, I got you. No, I haven't, but, since the virus hit, I said, Pat, what better excuse to buy a boat?
What? I'm boating. What? I'm boating. My schedule's all filled up, man. I'm boating.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry the Boater, Mike the Mariner, rounding out the crew. All right, so is this a boating buyer's market right now? We got more data out last week or two. It appears that may be the case. I mean, we've been talking about this for some time. Boat sales are still pretty strong. I mean, last time I talked to Captain Rusty and his dealership, the one takeaway from my conversation with him was that higher end boat sales are still super strong. They're seeing some softening at the lower end entry level boats, which kind of explains from the standpoint of like all the people that got into boating during the pandemic, and they've had it for a few years. Now they're getting out of it, and this flood of 1 and 2 year or 3 year old boats are hitting the market and competing with new boat sales, which is putting some pressure on the market in that sense. Which means your dad, when you go down to Flibbs, there, Mike, probably this is going to be a great time to maybe even find a pretty decent deal. You think?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, when I think about just 3.25 years ago when I bought Silhouette, that was right in the middle of the irrational exuberance of the boat market. So I was very, very lucky to find Silhouette when I did. It was literally on the market for 2 hours, though.
Yeah.
And I had made a run at 2 or 3 other boats before that, and they were under contract by the time I called. So now we're seeing boats sit on the market for a long time.
Yeah.
Very nice used boats, 3 years, 5 years,
1 year.
10 years.
1
Yeah,
year old.
even
There's
one,
a fo- there's
even 1 year old.
a 40% spike in pre-owned boats that are just
Yeah.
a year old. And
Right.
we had predicted that a couple of years ago because we knew that a lot of people got
Mhm.
into boating because they wanted some outlet. So they didn't
Right.
sit around in the house. And
And
it worked.
that's what we're seeing. So
Yeah.
we are going to see we're seeing a lot of downward pressure on the used boat market. So boats that sold for $150,000, $180,000 3 years ago are $65 to $70,000 boats now.
Right. But the new boat market, less than 26 feet, is up. So what people are doing is the ones that are buying new boats are downsizing to something smaller, more affordable, maybe, as opposed to the larger, almost into the yacht range. And then they're also competing with the 1 year old smaller boats. So it's definitely, I think, becoming a buyer's market. It was a seller's market last year. The year before was really a seller's market. You couldn't keep them.
We're already in the buyer's market. We
Yeah,
are
I think
firmly
so.
entrenched in the buyer's market. We have been for about a year.
Yeah.
And
in
yeah.
Florida, that's where we're based out of, all of our crew here. Now, I'm not sure if this applies across the country, but, as the boating market has gone, I think it's kind of like the forefront of the economy, too, because we're starting to see a softening in the real estate market in Florida now, too. And, we'll see what happens if it, indeed
that
gets
could be
really
the-
worse. But we're seeing a little softening, but we definitely saw the boating market soften quicker. Like it's the first domino to fall.
Well, a
in
boat
a
is not
softer
something you
economy.
need. It's something. It's a fungible item that you buy when you have a lot of extra time and extra money, and you want to buy something.
Right.
Whereas a home, I mean, the thing with the homes in Florida, I think the biggest reason why they may be slowing down is because it's so expensive.
Well, exactly.
It's become
They've
so
skyrocketed
expensive.
in value.
Not
and-
just the house itself, but also the insurance and everything involved.
interest rates, insurance.
Yeah. But my point is that, it's almost like the boating selling market could it be a bellwether for the economy in general? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they're saying it's normalizing.
Yeah.
They're saying it's going to come back to what it was pre-COVID. So before the pandemic, there was a certain number of boats that turned over every year. I have a client that is in a market that sells something that you don't need, but people like to buy. And he had a steady, sales every year. You can predict it. And then when COVID came along, things changed, and then COVID's gone again, and now things are changing again. So I think that applies to anything with something that people buy but don't necessarily need.
Yeah. Well, maybe so. But the bottom line is, I think, Mike, you're right. It's a buyer's market.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah, I think-
already here, and it's probably only going to get better for the buyers, for boats over the next few months. I don't
Flips
see
will
it turning any other way, at least not at the
I
moment.
agree. Yeah, I mean, when you think about the numbers and look at the types of boats that are hitting the market and the age, just as Barry was talking about, it is going to be a great time to be a boat shopper if you're in a financial position to get a boat. And boating is a lifestyle, right? So people invest in it not because it's a possession. It's something you do with your family and your friends, and it's you invest in that because it's almost like a vocation. And that, I think, it's a great time. We're moving into a great time. There are going to be a lot of great boats out there available to people that are looking.
Yeah. Well, if you've been sitting on shore, it's time to start paying attention.
Yeah.
if
The
you've
weather's
been
the
sitting on
weather's been
sideline.
perfect.
Yeah.
Prices are dropping. Now's the time to start looking. So
Yeah.
Flibbs will be the bellwether. We'll see how that does.
And
when
plus,
those numbers
that'll
come in.
be at the end of the summer season too. So I don't know, that might play to your advantage as well.
Yeah, they want to
even though we
unload
kind of
those boats.
Well, we got it year round here down in Florida, but still. You
Yeah,
get,
I
you get one of them
winterized-
snowbirds that are going
You
back up north.
winterize.
I winterized my boat in November by restocking the refrigerator and
With beer.
and adding
There you
with beer.
go. Right.
That's how
Bless
I
ya.
winterized my boat.
I like it. I like it. So yeah, I mean, take advantage of that. I think it is turning into a buyer's boating market, and it's about damn time. It couldn't come soon enough if you have the money to go. I mean, Barry, you know, he was talking about selling his boat a couple of years ago. You blew past that opportunity because now you don't want to sell it, do you?
Not right now. Not after I put all that work into it.
Right.
And she still run, and I still love going out there. It's just, you know, the kids have grown up and gone, and it's not quite the same. But you know, I do like being out there. I just enjoy being out on the water. You know, looking out at the horizon. You know, looking for fish and other places to explore.
Scuba diving.
Well, yeah, but then someone has to be out there to drive the boat for me. Greg.
Yeah.
Well, I'll drive the boat. We'll take turns.
Okay.
You would trust me
You're
at
gonna
the
let him
helm.
drive the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't break it. It's plastic.
Yeah, when we get far enough offshore, as long as you can't see land, he's like, sure, take the wheel.
Yeah, you can't possibly hit anything.
Yeah, there's nothing within you know, the view of
5 miles. Yeah,
our
there you
horizon.
go.
Right.
Go out for a little cruise, and what are we doing in West End?
That's
How'd
right.
that happen?
Well, it's it looked nice that way, so that's the way I steered the boat. Ironically, he usually puts it on autopilot and just puts me at the helm, and then you know, it acts like I act like I'm controlling the boat, and I'm really doing nothing.
I tie
So
a
you
piece
end
of
up on the
rope to
news
yeah.
on some beach somewhere.
Yeah, well, or just that I feel like I'm in control, and I really have no control
It's
whatsoever.
remote control. I got a little controller.
Yeah, the autopilot, the
The
AI boating
auto.
captain that he
No,
puts in charge.
autopilot. OTTO.
Yes, Otto, right, from the airplane movies. Okay, well, look, we could talk about AI. We'll save that till next week because God knows we got plenty of discussions on that topic and then some. But that's going to wrap it up for this week. And so till then, remember, whether it is sail or motor,
life is better.
Life is better
as a boater.
As a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.